Let's read out of Revelation 6. Now I watched when the Lamb opened one of the 7 seals. I heard one of the 4 living creatures say with a voice like thunder, "Come." And I looked, and behold, a white horse, and its rider had a bow, and a crown was given to him. And he came out conquering and to conquer. When he opened the 2nd seal, I heard the 2nd living creature say, "Come." And out came another horse, bright red. Its rider was permitted to take peace from the earth so that people should slay one another, and he was given a great sword. When he opened the 3rd seal, I heard the living creature say, "Come." And I looked, and behold, a black horse, and its rider had a pair of scales in its hand. And I heard what seemed to be a voice in the midst of the 4 living creatures saying, "A quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius, and do not harm the oil and wine." And when he opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th living creature say, "Come." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. Its rider's name was Death, and Hades followed him. And they were given authority over 1/4 of the earth to kill with sword, with famine, with pestilence, and wild beasts of the earth. When he opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of those who had been slain for the word of God, and for the witness they had borne. They cried out with a loud voice, "O sovereign Lord, holy and true, how long before you will judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on earth?" Then they were each given a white robe and told to rest a little longer, until the number of their fellow servants and their brothers should be complete, who were to be killed as they themselves had been. When he opened the 6th seal, I looked, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth, and the full moon became like blood, and the stars of the sky fell to the earth, as the fig tree sheds its winter fruit when shaken by a gale. The sky vanished like a scroll that is being rolled up, and every mountain and island was removed from its place. Then the kings of the earth, and the great ones, and the generals, and the rich, and the powerful, and everyone, slave and free, hid themselves in caves and among the rocks of the mountains, calling to the mountains and rocks, "Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who is seated on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of their wrath has come, and who can stand?" Obviously, we've been experiencing people slaying one another, peace being taken from earth. We've been dealing with, school shootings, church shootings, crazy things happening, and people just killing each other. And that is right here in this 2nd seal. It says its rider was permitted to take peace from the earth so that people should slay one another. This 3rd seal, it's so important right now in this very moment, because it says that a quart of wheat for a denarius and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius. In other versions, this says something along the lines of a meal is equal to a day's wages. Let me look it up in the other version. Hold on. In just a second. Yeah, there it is. It says a quart of wheat for a day's wages, or 3 quarts of barley, but all the oil and wine you want. The reason this is so important right now is because people are working and working and working, and it's barely putting food in their mouths. But right now, if you look in the news at what's going on with the oil market, with Saudi Arabia and Russia, they are they have lowered the price of a barrel of oil to such a low cost that they've flooded the market. And oil, the price of gas is so cheap now. Of course, we can't go anywhere. But there's so much oil available because it's so cheap. And that comes from this seal right here, when it says all the oil and wine you want. Now, let me also mention that here where I'm at in Texas, in the U.S., the governor has now approved the sale of alcohol being delivered to your house because people aren't allowed to leave. But you can order it and they'll bring it to you. So there's no restriction on alcohol right now. But people are losing their jobs. And people are having trouble feeding their families. They're working for next to nothing. Right before all this coronavirus stuff happened, people are taking minimum wage paying jobs that pay $7 something an hour, and that does not make enough to even touch rent cost or mortgage cost in the U.S. It doesn't. And so I just want you to see that this is currently happening in front of your eyes. I should also mention that here in the U.S., Trump has actually told the U.S., and specifically Texas, to cut back on the production of oil. But everybody else is flooding the market. So, if you've ever wanted to see prophecy fulfilled right before your eyes, you're living in that day. This is happening right now.